Ooh, a fresh pie. Save me a slice. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... All right, that's good. Okay, okay. All right, okay, all right. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's enough slices!
Refilling my school candy. Oops. Rainbow string.
Part of why I'm so good at candy like this is because this is my first candy. From the beginning, I always challenged myself to learn new things, and I've only been doing this for just over a year.
Antibiotics, we're wonderful pills, but don't ever think we'll cure all of your ills. So every time you feel a bit under the weather, don't always think that we can make you better. Take us for the wrong thing, that's dangerous to do. When you really need us, we can stop working for you. So please don't end up paying the price. Always take your doctor's advice.
Alright, here is a tutorial on how to do a ladder cuff. You're going to need 4 arms lengths of string. So I'm going to take a white bead and put it on my string and bring it all the way down. Take another and do the crisscross method and bring it back down. Here it is again, and I'm going to repeat this until I get a long enough bracelet to fit around my wrist. Next, I take my 2 pieces of string and do the crisscross method on the other end of the bracelet. I recommend putting needles on your string now. Next, I take a gray bead and use my crisscross method through it. Then, I use the crisscross method through the next bead on the bottom level. I repeat the crisscross and then crisscross through the bottom level and repeat that all the way around. I move my string up to the next level and I repeat. You're going to need to go around your last row of beads one more time. So use your crisscross and just crisscross through all of the beads. And you're all done.
Today, I wanted to conduct a little experiment. There's a hurricane passing through my state, but I think it's missing our area. It's just making things very windy and rainy right now. Personally, I love the rain. It creates a kind of cozy feeling for me. I always feel inspired when it rains. So I thought today would be the perfect time to tackle something that's been resting in the back of my mind. I wanted to create a 3D peyote star that was one solid color. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this because the pointed ends are always marked a different color to show progress. It's easier to keep track of what bead goes where, I suppose, is the best way to explain it. Anyway, I've had no luck with it before, but today, as you can see, I did it. There's a comparison for what the usual looks like, and I'm very happy. Thank you!
Making the biggest candy cuff in the world.
Watch me. Try to stop me, say I can't do it on my own. Watch me. I can do it on my own. Watch me. Try to stop me.
I really want some miso soup. Oh my god, miso soup!
I'm going to show you how I made this cuff. Now, I'm going to try and explain this best I can, but I'm sorry I'm kind of bad at explaining things, so we'll see how this goes. So this is the pattern I'm using, and you can find these on candypatterns.com. Now, the really good thing about this website is when you click on it, you will get a numbered pattern so you can see where the layers are. So you can see layer 1 right here, it goes like that, but this is really all just a single bracelet for number 1. So using this black as a reference point, I'm going to count how many red I need, and then black, red, till I get all the way around. Now I'm going to be using brown instead of red because I don't have enough red, and I'm also out of pink. Once you put all your beads on your string, you're going to want to go ahead and tie that off just to make a single. And a quick side note, you can adjust this to be whatever size you need. I typically need 30, this says 34, but I'm just going to do 34 for the sake of this video. So this next part to where it can get kind of tricky. So I've gone ahead and put my string through this bead right here, so that puts me at the very beginning. So you can see layer 2 goes right here. So what I'm going to do is it's going to go string, 1 bead, go through here, bead, go through here, continue that on. So I'm putting 1 bead on, and I'm going to string it through this one right here. So I'm skipping one and going to the next one. So now it's going to look something like that, and you can see how that pattern correlates to this right here. Now you're just going to continue this all the way around, following this pattern for number 2. And using a needle does make this way easier. And another good tip is making sure you're counting as you're going and keeping track of where you are, just so you don't put the wrong color or anything. So for example, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to need 4 red beads and then 1 black. So count as you're going just so you don't get off track. So again, I'm just going to take my needle, I'm going to put it through here, pull that bead all the way through, and you'll start to see a pattern forming. So now you can see I am adding 1 last bead on, so I'm going to go through this bead, and I'm going to come out through here. So now row 2 is complete, and we're going to start row 3. Now row 3 is going to be the same exact process as we did for row 2. And again, just count where you are, count where you're starting, and follow the pattern. So since I'm coming out at this bead, I'm going to go through this next one. Then do that all the way around. And to finish this line, we're going to go right through this bead right here, and then out through this one. And then onto the next row, all the way up to the top. Now once that pattern has been repeated all the way to the top, you're just going to tie this off. So I like to put the string through about here and tie it right there. And I usually double or triple knot that. And then you can just cut that off. Now for this one, I did add 1 more layer, but the pattern didn't have it, so I didn't add it to this one. But yeah, then you're done. And this can be done with any pattern that you want. And here's the pattern, if that is all you need. And of course, the creator, the person I'm going to give credits to for this pattern. And I'm sorry if I didn't explain it very well, but I hope this somewhat helped.
After I made the tutorial for this bracelet, a couple people asked me how to make one with an odd number of rows. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to be making a gender fluid pride cuff. We'll need about 20 beads of each color, or basically just enough to keep it going around your whole wrist. So to start off, you're going to take your very long piece of string. You just double it over so that both ends are together in your hands like this. Then take your top row color and put 1 bead of each on either side. Then you're going to take that all the way down the string, hold it like that. Hold it like that so these 2 beads are side by side. Then, next row. Make sure your beads are side by side, pinch together both ends of the string, and string together 1 bead of your next row color. Tug it all the way down. There you go. Next row, you're gonna put 2 beads again of the next color. Pull it down the same way. Then put those ends together, put that bead on. And then our final row, just gonna take 2 again. When you have an odd number of rows, you are just gonna stop after that last row too. Pull everything down, make sure it's tight, and then tie that in a knot. It's as easy as that, then it's gonna stay there. So now that you are at this point where you have tied it, you are going to continue feeding your string through here, and you'll see this empty space between these two beads. You're gonna fill it up with another bead and string right to the next one. Then you're gonna do that again and again and again and again. You got your bead on there, string it through, pull it through, you're at the other end now. All you gotta do is just continue moving, taking the next color of bead, and you will just string it onto the end there, and it should just slap right on. And of course, the next color. What makes this process slightly different, other than the way that we tied a knot here, is this. So, wait, let me demonstrate. So this is our 6-row cuff. And as you can see here, there is just 1 row of string along each of these. That means you don't have to loop back at all. But if you look at the odd cuffs, you can see that they are doubled over. I am really bad at explaining stuff sometimes, so I'm gonna just demonstrate it and hope it is clear. So let's say you finish your row, you will double back and loop your string through all the way to the end. So you cannot really physically go in this bead and then somehow put a bead in here and also in here. You really can't do that. So you have to, instead of going through that bead, I go through the bead to the left of it and I loop it over. Now this will double up the string on that side, and now technically you could continue building the cuff, but I have noticed if you just start building the cuff again, there will be this alternating pattern of like 2 strings, 1 string, 2 strings, 1 string. Every time that I do that, I've noticed like that the tension of the cuff is super messed up. It doesn't look right. What I found works, instead of just going straight into building the next row, you're gonna double it around twice, just to make sure that it's secure. That's what I do anyway. Not a necessity, I don't think. You see in these cuffs of 2, oh my god, I missed one. Just demonstrating the doubling over thing. You just pull it through, start by going to the left bead, because you're basically just gonna go on this path. You know, you're just gonna go on a little walk around the bracelet. That is pretty much the only thing that is different between the even stitch cuff and the odd stitch cuff. Like I said, I'm not going to show as much of the process of building it because I showed that more in the other tutorial. So I'm just going to show you again a recap of how to tie it off once I'm done. Okay, so once you've reached this point, it took me about 25 minutes. You are going to loop it around and fit it together like a puzzle piece. I'm just going to string my string in between all these beads so that I can stitch it together. You're gonna want to meet both beads. Not beads, string. I said the wrong word. At the end, and then tie them off here. And I even doubled it around and looped it. I don't know why that one was so hard to tie. It must have been camera shy. Snip, snip. That, my friends, is how you make a cuff with an odd number of rows. You can buy them on my shop, Strawberry Candy. Thanks so much.